Today, last week we were factoring trinomials, or the three terms, when a was equal to 1. Okay? And remember, our trinomial is the form of ax plus by equals c. And when a was equal to 1, that makes it look just like x squared, I should say plus bx, sorry. X squared plus like 2x minus 8. Okay? Something like that. There was no number in front, so that meant x was equal to 1. Agreed with that? Good? Okay. Today, we're going to do where a is greater than 1. So that means that we have a number in front of it. But we do the exact same way. There's no speed shortcut like we did with the a equals 1. We have to do the split the middle on this one. Okay? So the first step, okay, is you multiply a and c. Okay, so in here, a is 7 and c is -1. And so that means when I multiply a times c, I get -7. Good? Okay, that's the only difference. Now, we're going to find the factors of a times c that equal the sum of b, just like we did last time. Okay, so what factors of -7 are going to give me a +6? Yeah, 7 and -1 equals 6. So I split the middle and say 7m minus 1m, and then put everything front and back. So we split the middle term into Please put your phones away. Sorry, I didn't mean to go so fast. Okay, so you're going to split the middle term into your two equal terms. Now what's going to be our next step? Gary? No, we're undoing the FOIL. When we split the middle, what was the next thing we did? We grouped them, right? So we group and factor out the greatest common factor. So if I group this one and I group that one, what's my greatest common factor of the first one? 7. And what else? M. I got an M in both of them as well, which leaves me with M plus 1. And now what's my greatest common factor in the second one? Almost. -1. Perfect. And then I'm left with M plus 1. Say that one more time. So I factored out a -1 because that makes this a positive. And since these two are the same, I can now write that once and then make these into the other binomial. And so that's our last step, is rewrite as a FOIL problem. Good? Okay. Shall we try another one? All right, so A times C is going to be like saying 3 times 20, which gives me 60. What factors of 60 are going to give me negative 16 for my answer? 10 and 6 aren't going to work. I like that. Negative 6 and negative 10 is going to give me negative 16. Is everybody with me on that? All right, so let's rewrite our middle term. So I get 3x squared minus 6x minus 10x plus 20. Because my negative 16x is the same thing as negative 6 minus 10x. Yeah? Okay. Let's regroup. So what's my greatest common factor of the first one? 3 what? 3x. Which leaves me with an x minus 2. Because negative 6x divided by 3x equals negative 2. Good? All right, what's my greatest common factor in the second one? Negative 10, perfect. Which leaves me with x minus 2, which is exactly what I want. I want this one and that one to be the same. Because then I can rewrite it as 3x minus 10, x minus 2.
Why'd you do that?
I had a twitch with me. This one here, yeah, because I was jumping ahead. Are we good? Shall we do another one? Sure.
I do the third one, so that straights out.
Yeah.
Do the third one? Okay. What's 7 times 45?
315.
315. Okay, now, this is going to bring us back to my question over here. What's a fast way to factor the product of A times C? Okay, because if I start thinking about 315, I don't know, that's a little big, that's a little overwhelming. But I do know that my factors are all be multiplied. What's the factors of 7? 7 times 1. And what's 2 factors of 45? 9 times 5. Right? Okay, so if I'm trying to get to negative 26, what about, so that would give me, I can look at these numbers if I keep going down one more, because that's 3 times 3 times 5, and that can help me with my combination. So if I have use 7 and times 3, that's 21. Right, are you with me on that?
Yeah.
What am I left with? 1, 3, and 5. For the 1, 3, and 5. And what does that give me? Now it's going to be 16. So that's not quite it, but that's close. Does that make sense? Yes, sir.
Are they gonna be that high on the quiz or test?
Possibly. Okay. What about 7 times 5? What's that give me? 35. And that leaves me with 1 times 3 times 3. What's that give me? Minus, if I subtract that, what am I left with? 26. Okay, that's the number I'm trying to get to. So you can play around. You can play around with some of the factors to see what your numbers are. So my two factors are going to be 7x squared minus 35x plus 9x minus 45. Does that make sense? There isn't really any speed method like we had on the other one, but you can definitely use your factor trees to get to it sooner. Question?
Is there like a specific method to the division part, like that we did over on the other side?
This over here?
Yeah.
No, it's a matter of just kind of looking at what your factors are and what it's going to, it has to all combine all of the factors, right? Because it's a multiplication problem of all of them. So it's a matter of looking at like all of them to see which ones are going to add up to the 26.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that was why we did the one. No, yeah. All right, so let's factor out. What am I going to factor in the first one? 7x, perfect.
X minus 5.
And I have x minus 5. And what am I going to factor out of the second one?
9. X minus 5.
And so I can rewrite it as 7x, plus 9 times x minus 5. Good? Okay. Let's look at the next one. 2 times 27 gives you what? 54. Okay? And I want it to add up, my factors to add up to 3. So, my factors of 2 are 2 times 1. And my factors of 27 are 9 times 3. Okay? What combination of these factors could I get to equal 3? Hey, what's 9 times 1? What's 2 times 3? What's 9 minus 6? There you go. Okay, so that means I'm going to have 2x squared minus 6x plus 9x minus 27. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, why did I put the 6x instead of the 9x in that order? Why didn't I write 2x squared plus 9x? Huh? With the 9x? Or with this? Why did I write the 6x first? What do you think, Tyler?
That'd be,
No, I asked why did I write the 6x first instead of the 9x first? No, Gary? Yeah, 6 doesn't go into 27. I kind of grouped up a greatest common factor together because now I can pull out a greatest common factor of 2x and I'm left with x minus 3. And if I pull out a 9, I'm left with x minus 3. Does that make sense? So as you're putting these together, kind of look at which one, has something in common together. Yeah, question?
Could you still like write the two way? Because I still got the same answer.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You end up pulling out a different, but yes, you can. It will work. It's just sometimes easier to do it that way. Good question. All right, look at this. Practice problems. Woohoo! Would you like to practice with odds or evens? I heard odds the most, so we're going with the odds. All right.